The year was 2577. After the seas swallowed the world in the Great Submersion, the Earth was left unrecognizable. The polar ice caps melted, continents sank, and only the highest mountain peaks pierced the surface, lonely, silent, and surrounded by endless ocean. From the shattered remnants of humanity, a new being emerged. Jakir, a scientist aboard an underwater facility, was the first to transform, spliced with shark DNA forged by desperation and cosmic mystery. His transformation marked the beginning of the Finheads. In time, others followed. Whalers, sailors, survivors of the deep, guided by the elders of the deep. They were no longer human. They were Finheads, shark-blooded, ocean-born, and destined to inherit the flooded earth. But survival required more than evolution. It demanded structure. So, the deep laws were born. The ocean chooses, Finheads must embrace their dual nature, neither fleeing the land nor fearing the sea. Land is temporary, water is eternal. Finheads build no cities above sea level. Their home lies beneath the waves in Ocealis, a radiant undersea sanctuary carved into the ocean floor. No alliances with landwalkers unless they prove peaceful and respectful to the sea. The blood of the hunt must be earned. Each Finhead must slay a creature of the deep, the Dreadmore, using only their own jaws. Only then is their transformation complete. Strength guides leadership, not birthright. The strongest protect. The weak must prove they belong. These laws are not just rules. They are the current that carries our kind forward.
To be Finhed is to live by the ocean's rhythm, not only in law, but in spirit. The sea is sacred. To waste its gifts, to pollute its depths, to disrespect the elders of the deep, these are crimes beyond exile. They are betrayals of the Finhed soul. Overhunting is forbidden. Marine life is harvested only in balance. The weak may serve, but all must contribute. And above all, adaptability and strength are revered. The ocean shows no mercy, and neither do we. From the moment a driftling, an unproven youth, takes their first breath, they are shaped by the tide. They swim before they walk. When adolescence comes, gills bloom behind the ears, a mark of approaching maturity. Stories and songs echo in the choral halls of Ocealis, sacred traditions passed down in melody and myth. Scars from Dreadmore battles are worn like medals. Tattoos, etched with ink from deep-sea creatures, adorn the body with symbols of lineage and victory. These are not decorations. They are history made flesh. But not all adapt. Some fail to shift. Others refuse the hunt. These are the half-fins, cast to the margins of floating wreckage, scavengers in exile. To speak the landwalker tongue, to use weapons in place of fangs, to remain on land for too long. These are taboos, violations of the very essence of what it means to be Finhed. And for those who would still eat land-grown food, they might as well drown.
The rite of the first blood tide marks the most sacred transformation in a Finhead's life, the passage from driftling to full Finhed. The initiate is taken to a distant reef, far from family and tribe. Their skin is painted in deep-sea ink, and for one lunar cycle they fast, drinking only salt water. On the final night, they descend alone into the abyss. There, in silence and darkness, they must shift for the first time. The Dreadmore awaits. With their own jaws, they must kill it and return with the body. Only then are they welcomed with song and feast, given tattoos of shark gills and a new name. Their transformation complete, their life reborn. But Finhed identity flows deeper than ritual. It moves through tides. Kinship is traced not through blood or gender, but through tidal descent. High tide, low tide, waxing or waning. Each tide group carries its own role, its own rhythm in society's current. They are genderless. Their love is not defined by form, but by spirit. When one Finhed wishes to bond with another, they must dive into the ruins of the surface world and return with treasure, a relic of sunken ships, offered as proof of devotion. Marriage is a choice, not a mandate. Divorce is peaceful. Families are chosen, not assigned. They live together in pods, intergenerational, communal, fluid. There are no dowries, no gender roles, only the bond between two beings riding the same wave.
To create life in Finhed culture is not simply reproduction, it is sacred balance. Through their evolved tentacle-like appendages, Finheads procreate not as genders but as equals. Two beings bond, and from that connection, a transparent egg is born, one from each partner. These eggs float within ocean cradles, hatching over 9 moon cycles into new driftlings. But before this act, partners undergo the ritual of tidal balance, learning mutual intimacy, respect, and the spiritual meaning of connection. Consent and harmony are not ideals, they are laws of the body. All this is guided by the faith of the Finheads, echo of the tide. Their goddess Maraqua wept for the ruin of humanity. Her tears became the oceans. From them the Finheads were born. Salvation is found in honoring the sea's will, offering polished shells, glowing coral, and prey at sacred drift shrines. The worthy dissolve into the drift realm, an eternal current of light deep in the sea. The wicked, however, are banished to the dry void, a parched, suffocating realm where water does not reach. And yet even the divine must eat. The Finheads gather glowing kelp and farm coral gardens by hand. They forage for mollusks and sea urchins with care. Ritual hunts are rare and never wasteful. Their economy flows like the tide, based on reciprocity. No gold, no greed. Only Dreadmore teeth traded for sacred goods. To hoard is to poison the current.
The ocean gives all, and the Finheads give in return. There is no poverty, for no one is left without purpose. Each Finhed finds their role, assigned not by wealth or power, but by age, ability, and willingness to serve. Tide-born children tend the kelp gardens. Mid-cycle Finheads hunt, build, and govern. Elder tides, the wise elders, preserve memory and guide with ritual. If a Finhed refuses to contribute or defies the laws of the sea, they are not cast out immediately. Instead, they are guided back, sometimes through low-status tasks like trench sweeping, sometimes through exile to isolation reefs where they learn to reflect and heal. Justice is not violent. There are no prisons, no chains, only the mediators of the current, trained in empathy, balance, and truth. They listen, they restore, they mend what was broken. For protection, there is no army, only the tide guardians, stealthy defenders who move with the currents and use light, camouflage, and ecosystem manipulation to shield Ocealis from harm. Their society flows without hierarchy, but with structure. It is a living current, the elders of the tides, bearers of sacred wisdom, the mediators, keepers of peace, the tide guardians, silent protectors, the life keepers, builders and healers, the foragers, explorers of the deep, and the youth ever learning, ever changing. No caste, no rulers, only roles, and the freedom to move like the sea between them.
The Finheads govern not with force, but with current. Their political life is tribal, guided by kinship and consensus. Yet, like the rising tide, structure exists. The elders of the tides hold symbolic authority, not as rulers, but as memory keepers and interpreters of the ocean's will. There is no king, no state. Instead, decisions are made communally and enforced not by violence, but by respect. Borders are fluid, like water. Immigrants, landwalkers, and others may enter, but only through the bonding ritual, where they learn Finhed values. No walls, no checkpoints, just coral fields, shifting tides, and the Dreadmore who do not care for trespassers. Violence is rare. Threats from beyond are met by the tide guardians. Internal conflicts are calmed by the mediators. True punishment lies not in bars or blades, but in separation from the community, from the reef, from the flow. And yet, perhaps the most radiant expression of Finhed culture is found in their art. Glow marks, bioluminescent tattoos inked from coral and jellyfish, tell each Finhed's life story. They shift color in different waters, reflecting emotion, ancestry, and achievement. Spirals for transformation. Wave crests for bonded partnerships. Fin patterns for sacred geography. From the first hunt to the last breath, a Finhed's body becomes a living map, a glowing memoir written by the ocean itself. The end.